Welcome to third floor 311 renovation here in San Antonio at Lake Flato Architects. We're going to start out by aligning the fuser model in the HoloLens 2 with the QR code that I've affixed to the existing elevator door, which has also previously been placed in the virtual model. All of the existing elements for the most part have been excluded so that when we look through the HoloLens glasses, we see the existing conditions around us. And then when we look towards something new, we see a hologram projected in the physical space. So here we are getting off the elevator at the third floor. We see a wood panel wall out in front of the entrance to the toilet rooms that you'll see in just a minute. We see a suspended shelving system and some desking directly in front of us. We look to the right and we see some desking and the existing windows. We look up, we see the existing concrete beams with some ceilings superimposed between these deep concrete beams. And then as we look to the left, we see some glazing for a new large conference room that we can essentially see right through to the other side of the office on the third floor. We can also see the new flooring. The textures are coming through from the Revit model. So let's have a walk around. Here's an area we can walk through between the shelf and the desks. And as we look to the right, we can see how the desks line up with the existing windows. We can see a new wall that is supposed to be under this beam, so I can make a slight adjustment here to the model. It may not have been perfectly aligned from the QR code. Unmute commands. Move left 6 inches. Mute commands. So here's an open meeting space. And another open meeting space with a new window to the exterior. This will overlook our new plaza area. Show plaza. Unmute commands. Show plaza. Mute commands. So if we walk forward and look out this window, this is showing what we will see from this new window. Of course, there's still a physical wall here that hasn't been cut, so we can't see the real world. Unmute commands. Hide plaza. Mute commands. I have to do that turning off the commands so that it doesn't pick up something I'm saying and think I'm giving it a command. So if I walk through this space and look up, you can see there's an existing skylight above this standing height meeting space table. We walk behind this wood paneled wall and we see there's lots of lockers for storing materials and personal items. There's the new doors into the restrooms. If you look hard, you can see the existing door through the hologram being projected. We'll continue to walk forward, and on our right, where the server room currently exists, there's a door that's been relocated to the left about 4 feet, and through this full light door, we can see a 2-person small meeting space. Large conference room glass, a collection of 5 desks, Here's the existing stair. You can see how some things in the hologram project themselves seemingly in front of existing objects. So in that case, there are a few existing walls that have been left in here to help obscure those elements. So as we walk down the hallway, we can see this existing large conference room that's been modified to have glazing on two sides. So I'll temporarily hide the hologram. Unmute commands. Hide all. So you can see the two existing walls are the full depth of this conference room. Isolate third floor. Mute commands. And now you can see the new glazing and then see through the glazing the hologram of the new proposed elements. All of this is being done with a device that's resting on my head. It's essentially the computer. It doesn't actually connect to a physical computer. It is a computer itself. This model was downloaded via a Dropbox share. And so here's the other end of the building, showing the desk layout, the ceiling elements around the existing concrete beams. And if we walk all the way to the back here, we can see how this model has been keeping itself lined up. It's off maybe a foot. So looking back to the other end of the office, you can see how this hologram table lines up almost perfectly with the physical table that's still sitting there. And if I know the table's the correct height, maybe the family's wrong, so maybe it is not lining up perfectly. But if the table is supposed to be the exact correct height, I can move it down. Unmute commands. Move down 4 inches. Move up 2 inches. Mute commands. So there's the existing stairs. And then one more thing I'll show that's really interesting. If we look up, we can see those existing holes in the concrete beams. Unmute commands. Show existing. So you can see how the holes in the hologram line up quite closely, not perfectly, with the holes in the real world. Isolate existing. So for a moment there, we'll turn off the proposed and just look at the existing conditions. So here it's showing 2 holes when there's actually only 1. Hide existing. Show existing. So there may be a new hole being added. So you can see how the windows are quite close. There's the existing elevator door. Hide all. Hide all. And that's a quick tour of the third floor renovation of 311 Lake Flato Architects here in San Antonio, Texas.